yes, we have lost the finance bill of 2024. It would be wrong and an abuse and insult to the people of Kenya if you tell them you're reintroducing that finance bill. Then you would not be listening to Kenyans. So we cannot reintroduce the finance bill 2024, despite the progressive provisions in it. But the country must grow. There are provisions in that bill which would have helped the country to grow. One area, and you have mentioned it, Professor, is the issue of tax expenditure, which is leading to tax leakage within it. A lot of tax expenditure claims, I mean the tax refund claims are fictitious, and we know it. We have been around for a while. So now we must look for ways of reducing the tax expenditure. That we can only do by, there are commodities, there are items you may not stop subsidizing, so to speak, because they are basic, they impact directly on cost of living, but you can move them to exemptions so that we do away with this zero rating of commodities, which end up clogging our system. And by the way, VAT refunds, you know better than me, could be contributing about 60% of the 65%. So if it is 60, yes, now it is 5%. Which is now the total, to put it in perspective, the total tax refunds, the total tax expenditure is 525 billion. 65% of that, meaning over 300 billion, say 350, is on VAT tax refunds. If we manage that, even if we just manage 250 to 300 billion we take off, that is money you are giving back to the exchequer to be used for development of this country. So Kenyans must accept, we must discuss and agree that yes, we will give some relief on some critical and important items, but let us do tax exemption instead of zero rating, which end up, by the way, benefiting business people and not the consumers. Because the benefits are rarely passed to the consumers. I hope we all understand. Maybe we are speaking to Kenyans out there who may not really understand the details of what we are saying. So I am so particular and maybe getting emotional about the tax exemptions. And on that, and the last one is on, you had a very good program of tax amnesty, which has netted additional revenue. I looked at the figures. Is it 43 billion?
Yes.
About 43, 44 billion. We need to extend that tax amnesty and use it as a way of bringing more revenue, but also giving relief to taxpayers. Yes, we are saying so and so, you have this amount of tax to pay, to carry, which is the like backed up tax that you should have paid, but you have not paid. We want you to pay the principal, but we are waiving the interests and the interests charged and penalties on that. So this is something that would not hurt anyone. If, as a matter of fact, it is beneficial to the economy because the taxpayer feels a bit of relief of not paying the penalties. But at the same time, we are also getting additional revenue because you are motivating the taxpayers to pay. So these are things that are, in my view, I'll just mention those two, but I know our team around here is already working on some of those proposals that were in the Finance Bill 2024, which we can now put together and see how to take them back to Parliament, not as Finance Bill, but as other proposals. Yeah. And so that is what we'll do. But I want to conclude by saying we will do an extensive public participation.